Now, pretty much after using an iPhone 12 Pro Max since launch for a few months now, as much as it's a great phone, and there's a lot of things I love about the device, which I did my top favorite features videos on it, which will be linked in the cards above and the description below. The 12 Pro Max is far from perfect, and it's really just something that I have to put out there and say, look, there is some stuff on there that I really did not like about it. So yeah, these are my 5 things I dislike about my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Let's go. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. First has got to be the overall design and the build for the specific size of this iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now look, don't get me wrong, this is a tank, solid, and a very premium device, but look, I do feel like this throwback design with this more flatter, sharp edges definitely suits the smaller size phones like what you find on the iPhone 12 mini. And the phone itself also feels a bit too wide and should have been a bit more narrow to really help the overall handling of the device itself. And then mix that with the weight of the phone without a case, this 12 Pro Max can feel cumbersome to hold and use. And plus, I really wish they used a brushed matte finish on the rails like what you found on the iPhone 12 mini instead of this glossy finish on here, because as much as it's in a case and pretty much it's hidden away, when it catches fingerprints, man, without a case, it does not look or feel nice at all. Next is the overall display experience. And yes, I've praised Apple for being one of the only phone makers to consistently use a flat display design. So look, bravo to them there. But come on, as good as this display is, to still have this weird screen resolution of 2778 by 1284, which is based on the pixel count, which is 3.56 megapixels, it still falls short of the 3.68 megapixel screen count needed for it to be a true quad high definition display QHD. You might be saying it's only a small difference and it's a reach, and look, I can personally take that. Literally, it's a small difference, but Apple have been doing big screen phones for a while, and I think now the screen size has increased to 6.7 inches, they should have been able to finally do a proper quad high definition QHD plus display. Then the lack of any form of high refresh rate in any capacity, whether at 75 Hz, 90 Hz, or the 120 Hz that we're expecting for a ProMotion display, this really does make the display experience fall behind the curve. Again, I want to come back to it. It's a solid 60 Hz panel with a great touch response, amazing haptic feedback, but the lack of high refresh rate really does make the perceived speed of the phone not really feel up there with the best. And although functionally needed because of Face ID, the notch still takes up way too much space. And I'm gonna add one more honorable mention to wrap this whole experience with the display: the lack of always on display. Please, Apple, let's get this feature in the next iPhone and the next iOS version, please. Next is the overall charging experience with the battery. Now, I won't take too long on this part because I've already done a number of videos on my thoughts on the whole no charger situation. So honestly, go give that a watch, links in the description and the cards above. But yeah, my quick fire thoughts on this: that phones this expensive should still come with the option to have the charger. Even if that charger is not gonna come in a box, there should be an option to have it extra with it for free. But my biggest problem is the fact that we are still stuck with a lightning port for charging. And now most of Apple's products are actually USB-C based and compliant. And the fact that this only supports 20-watt wire charging, and it also doesn't have any form of reverse wireless charging either. Honestly, for a phone of this price to basically take 2 hours to charge from 0 to 100%, for me personally, it just doesn't cut it. My general rule of thumb for a person like myself that does a lot of charging tests and values faster charging and fast charging, if a phone at any price point, especially at the high end, like this 12 Pro Max, takes more than 1 hour to recharge, then I personally struggle to call it fast charging. Now, the lack of reverse wireless charging may seem like a small deal, but I think having this feature in a pinch for AirPods Pro users would have been a nice touch on a premium device like this. Next is the software with iOS, and honestly, it just does not suit and work on big screen phones. I'm not even thinking about what the competition does with their big phones and what works well with them, but I'm more looking at Apple themselves with how well optimized something like iPad OS is for their big screen tablets. With that in mind, just the lack of basic things like true multitasking with split screen, and although not completely their fault on this one, I'm gonna have to admit, but not having picture-in-picture mode on YouTube natively on the app and not through Safari browser when using YouTube Premium is still annoying. And also UI navigation around the whole UI interface is way more work than it should be, with still strange things like still having to pull down on the action center to be able to see your battery status. And the fifth and the last one for me to wrap this all up is the lack of true dual SIM support. And look, I know you do get eSIM support, but I've always said it, not all networks and not all carriers support eSIM, and having 2 physical SIM cards is still so much more useful and preferred for me. That is it for me. Those are the 5 things I dislike about my iPhone 12 Pro Max. Let me know, do you share the same thoughts? You have a 12 Pro Max? Are you considering it? Are they the same things you don't like about the 12 Pro Max, or they don't really bother you at all? That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.